Hi, okay, today we have somebody coming back in very unexpectedly. You didn't expect to see this person again, okay? You really didn't. I feel that they completely destroyed the relationship, okay? They violated your boundaries, they were quite controlling, and they were dominant as well, even if just covertly, okay? It's almost as if they just left you. I'm hearing the word nothing, whatever that means for you today. But they're very controlling energy, a very dominant energy. And even when they left, and this is key, the energy still haunted you. It was if you couldn't shake their energy off. Possibly some of the memories they left you with, maybe anxiety, maybe I'm just hearing the word trauma bonds today, okay? But this person is going to reinvade your space, or try to, all right? So today's reading, from my point of view, is just seeing why, okay? Let's just see what they want, what's going on with them. And also I'm going to look at a timing. So by the end of the reading, we'll know what they want. Okay, I don't feel that you would particularly entertain this. Okay, I feel you've just started to get your spark back. And they made you, I'm hearing they made you doubt what love even meant. Okay, this person was manipulative. All right, with this card came out whilst I was shuffling, so there's a message here for somebody today. So let me have a look at what is going on with this person and what do they want. I think that's the key today. What do they want? Just while I'm shuffling though, I hope you're well. That's the main thing, and you're looking after yourself, especially if you've been through this with this particular person. If you'd like a reading, just click on the title of the video. Links are below in the description box. Everything's on the website. Go check it out. And also the free relationship report. I'll just take 3 cards. And thank you for your comments. All your comments, I do read them all. Thank you so much. And I do send you so much love. Okay, I'm looking at the past first. In fact, I'm going to take 4 cards. I just want to have a look at the past. Let's have an itchy shuffle. Okay, they came in strong in the past. Yeah, they destroyed your vision of love. In the past, they came in as the Knight of Cups. Okay, totally came in as the Knight of Cups. But I feel crossed with this other card that they did soon become either quite suffocating. They believed that they were always right. They had ways of doing things. They could have been, I just feel they were very controlling and quite stuck in their ways. And I do honestly feel today that they expected you to follow their belief system, their values, all of that, okay? You found this difficult, all right? You did find this difficult. Now, somebody could have been married or in a long-term commitment in the past before you met, but yeah, in the past I've got the four of Swords. Okay, there's been an on-off communication style between you both, but I feel what they do is if they don't get their own way, and they're very dominant, even if it's just passive aggressive, you know. Dominance doesn't always mean in your face dominance. It's just like snarky, you know, just like poking at you all the time. And you know damn well that they're being horrible. But they'll say, oh, I'm only joking, or I didn't mean it like that, or you're too sensitive, and all of that crap that they come out with, okay? They played the ghosting game, as I like to call it. So even if they didn't separate from you, they'd go days and they wouldn't even acknowledge you, or they were not remotely interesting. Maybe they weren't interesting, but they weren't remotely interested in how you felt or what made you tick. At the beginning of the relationship, they came in very, very romantic. There was a proposal, I feel. Maybe you married this person, maybe you've moved in together. But I feel with this other card, the Hierophant, they wanted a commitment. Okay, there was a commitment made. Now, because this card came out first, I'm more leaning towards the fact that the Knight of Cups has gone into the love bombing territory. Okay, where it is just over the top. They move very quickly. And suddenly they made you feel that you couldn't manage without them, but you'd managed perfectly well till you met them. Okay? Yeah, now they have, them themselves have a very poor sense of self. Okay? They don't really like themselves very much. But that isn't your problem. I'm going to throw that in there right now. That isn't your problem. But they caused you fear, anxiety, stress. I think you had more peace when this person wasn't in your environment, okay? You never knew what mood they were going to be in, all right? They are just very, very bossy, very dominant, and on a bad day, they could be quite malicious, all right? And they put you down a lot, I feel. All right, I do feel they put you down. I feel that I don't know, they didn't stand up for you, but it was more than that. It's like they gossiped. Okay, so yeah, they did come in strong. They really, really did. They pulled out the stops. They wanted to be like you. Whatever your interests were, they loved them. Whatever you did, they enjoyed. But then bit by bit, they just chipped away at your self-esteem. And you know, you should never think, why did I tolerate it? Because honestly, it's the brain chemistry. A doctor, you know, will tell you that. But also, and I feel with this person, they did it so slowly that by the time you're in it, you don't even realise what's happened. Okay, for an example, you could have been isolated from people that you loved, or you stopped going out with your friends, or you stopped making an effort for yourself. You know, they were just so time consuming, but then once they got you in their net, they just changed. That's when that's when you had to start conforming. There's an element of conforming here. You know, yes sir, no sir. And in the end, people do it. I've done it. Sometimes, you know, not anymore, but you conform because it's just easier. Okay, so that's what I've got. That's what I feel the past was like. All right, I do feel there could have been a separation here before. Okay, and I've also got the Queen of Swords in the past. Now, there's a couple of ways you could have come out of a bad relationship and this person preyed on what you told them about the relationship, okay? Or you stop speaking to them, then you speak to them, but whatever it was just such a lot of drama for you, such a lot of drama. Okay, let's see what's going on in this person's environment now. Right, okay, first card, they're in the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Now it's clarified by this card. Okay, so at the moment the boot's on the other foot, and this is why I feel they want to come back. Okay, they still think they'll be able to play the same games with you that they played before you separated. They still think they can breadcrumb. I do feel they're controlling. I do feel that they are a little bit selfish, and they just expect people, and especially you, they expected you to feel grateful for every little thing they did. You know, example, they do one thing in the day and they wanted, you know, I don't know, a gold medal for it, okay? But they were very critical. Now, within their environment, boot is on the other foot because the Ace of Wands in the reverse means they're struggling, okay? There's something not working out, they're unable to take action on something, and they've also missed some potential. If they moved away to a new situation, it's burnt out, it's burning out, it's not really working, okay? But it's all to do with this power. They like to be seen to be the one giving handouts almost, but you didn't want any handouts. You know, this to me is love. I feel there was love bombing here. You know, narcissistic, covert, passive aggressive, toxic. And you were made to feel grateful for everything they ever did. And in the end, I think all they ever did was cause you misery, because they just kept putting you down, okay? But yeah, within their environment, they are restricted. They're also bottom of the deck in the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So for me, it's not working. They've got a lot of instability, possibly something shady going on there, reckless, possibly investments not working out. But also I just feel they're a little bit trapped, okay? And I think they're a little bit lazy. You know, they don't always finish what they start. Definitely not romantically. I feel they're a little bit empty inside, so they will mirror whoever they're with. And I do feel, and this is specific, so you'll know before we go any further, that this person will have moved quickly to get you into the relationship that they wanted to have. Maybe you had something that they wanted. Did you have something that they wanted? Maybe it was accommodation. Maybe it was stability. Whatever it was, they did come in very quickly and they did move. Yeah, I've just got the, I don't know why I split that, Queen of Pentacles. That's your energy. There was some stability, some security and some money. Now by money I don't mean, you know, loads and loads. There can be. Just, you know, roof over, stable, calm. And also they knew you were kind, and more than that, you were well known for being concerned with the welfare of others, okay? But I do feel that was what, there was some abundance of something that they wanted, all right? But then they just put you down, dominated you, controlled you. There was, in the end, there was an imbalance. I feel that they sucked something out of you. And by the time it ended, you were drained of emotionally, mentally, physically, maybe financially. But you were drained and you had no energy left, no fight left. And I've got to say, what I'm hearing, the saddest thing for you was that then they just criticised you even more, even though they'd done that. And I think that's your message today. You will be shocked to see this person. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I feel it's a classic case of someone who's crossed your boundaries, someone that you thought was dead to you. And I mean that, you know, not literally, but they were just gone. And that it's just hoovering you back up to see if you're still, I'm going to say it, that sweet, kind, generous, empathetic person, okay? Whether you're male or female or however you identify, you are very, let's put you in the feminine energy, very mothering or fatherly or just kind. You don't see bad in people, okay? You don't see bad in people, and they're going to come back in, all right? Anything else on why they're coming back in? Yeah, Six of Cups. They want your kindness. They want your goodwill. You see, I've got two cards out here, Six of Pence and the Six of Cups. Now, they can mean many things, but in love, they can mean that nothing changes. So the Six of Pentacles can talk about a relationship where one person has more financial control over the other, or a person who says, oh, don't do that, dear, that's not good for you. And they almost, and this is how you get lured in, okay, they fake concern for you, but at the bottom of it, it's actually control, okay? So with the Six of Cups, yeah, they miss your kindness, they miss your support, they miss your charity, they miss the gifts you shared, all right? But also, and I think it's, I'm going to say it, I feel that they miss the fact that they could always be the one with more control. And I think that is their modus operandi. I think that is their game plan with wherever they go. With this Nine of Pentacles I saw in reverse, I feel they went to something that was going to give them more, that they only had to focus on themselves and they were doing fine. I'm all right, Jack energy, okay, but it's flipped. So they're either trapped in a gilded cage, or everything they start just doesn't work out for them. But whereas you're concerned, I feel it's hoovering, and I think that's the message for you really today, is that they will hoover. They will hoover. Some people do that when they've run out of things, or it's just supply, you know. It's just supply. Dirt digging. Someone looking for dirt on you. Okay, did someone do some dirt digging on you? Boss. Oh yeah, this person likes to be the boss. You know, it's giving big, you know what energy. I won't say it on here. Big D energy. Okay, they've got big D energy. They like to be seen as rich, stable, that strut around. Their image is very important to them. Okay, very, very important to them. And underneath is ego. Very, very stuck in their ego. Very, with those two sixes, they could give to charity, you know. They could be somebody who donates to charity, but everybody knows about it. Or they donate to charity, and in the community, everybody thinks they're just wonderful and gorgeous and kind, and oh, you wouldn't meet a nicer person. And then you obviously have been through all of this crap, and then everybody looks at you like you're mad. Take no notice. It's classic narcissistic behaviour. And you know, and I'm going to say this before we wrap this up, they always go for strong people. Okay? And then by the time they're finished with the strong person doesn't know if they're having a shit shower or a shave or what the hell's gone on, that they're literally a shell. And then these types of people will literally laugh in their faces and take what they can and tell everybody that that person's crazy. No, it wasn't you. Okay? If that's the only message, that energy's here. The Six of Pence to me is just one of my really red flag cards. Okay. Great in career, great if you want a loan, but in relationships it always tells me one person's got more control, or they want more control. They're not happy to be equal. So this person will show their face. Okay. You've moved on. Okay. You're starting to trust again. You're starting to... They stripped you of your innocence. I think that's what I'm hearing. They stripped you of that beautiful... That's my cat. One of my cats. They stripped you of that genuine love that you didn't know that people could be that horrible. Okay. You're regaining that trust again now, I feel. You're loving yourself more. You're just really realising, you know what, this was nothing to do with me. This is nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing. Okay, because it wasn't. They're in a pickle now. They're in the Ace of Wands in the reverse. And if we just take that card, nothing's working. Wasted talent, wasted potential, plans not working, businesses they could have started not working, new job going down the pan, love, they've met someone else, flames extinguished, the passion's gone, you know. So they're just repeating their behaviour. And unfortunately, they probably will do for the rest of their lives in some shape or form. Okay? So let's just find a timing. Let's see if I can get a timing. And anything else about this person. That's actually not yet. That's not yet. I'm not going to... Where are we now? What month are we in? March. No, I feel this will be the autumn. Okay? It's not yet. It's not yet. It'll be the autumn. Yeah, I feel it's going to be the autumn. Late summer, early autumn. Okay. I still think they're going to bring in the same energy, Six of Wands. They want to win. Okay? They want to win. Now, they've come in. I've got the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is not emotional. The King of Swords is logical. Now, the King of Swords is fine. Okay? But I just feel what they'll do is they'll do the love bombing, the hoovering, but beneath it all, they're still in that King of Swords energy in a slightly negative position. Let's put it that way. That's polite, isn't it, Keeley? And they're just still going to be as spiteful. That's the word, spiteful. Six of Wands in a love reading. For me, I'm reading that into their motives, that they want to win. They want you back. They like to have you on your arm. They like to show you off. But they like to win. But underneath there's something they're not telling you. Okay? And I feel is they're going to come in, offer you everything, offer you maybe a new house, a new place to live. The sun's going to shine. It's all going to be wonderful. Okay? But I feel it's coming from their ego. And I feel they will revert back to that unemotional person who gave you the silent treatment. All right, so just do you. You're going to be fine. I don't feel you'll want to go back to this, okay? I really don't. I don't at all. I honestly feel whoever this is for today, you're completely done. And my only thing to say is, it doesn't matter what you did, what you said, or anything. Nothing would have ever been right for this person, okay? Nothing. Nothing. You could have, I don't know, swung off the rooftops, you know, whatever. You could have, you know, ran 25 miles a day. I don't know, but there's nothing you could have done. This person will never, ever be satisfied, okay, ever, with anything. Because they are low self-esteem, poor emotional regulation. That will have started in childhood, with some caregiving, you know, some needs, whatever their family dynamic was. And they are a child in an adult's body. Okay, so, and the only way they can feel in control is when they are controlling others. All right, so look after you, do you. You're amazing, you're wonderful, you're worth absolutely anything you want. You're worth it. Just go for it. Okay, you're the best. And they were really lucky. They were really lucky. Okay, but I'll leave it with you. Take good care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.